So, third game of this Zodiac Dream League quarter-finals match between HawK, starting in the bottom right of Nomad Isles, against EnTe in the top left of Nomad Isles. And he is not going for the Fiend build order this time, but the standard TEDBO.
I would go Fiends on this map, for sure. I would go for Fiend build every time.
I think it's a lot. It's not as good here as it is on Last Refuge, because the human will almost always take this mercenary camp first, because fairly easy to creep. And with the mercenaries, when you have them early on especially, I think the Fiends are not as strong. I mean, HawK got the mercenaries at some point last game, but it wasn't as early as he would have liked them.
Yeah,
but
that's true, but I think this map is so ridiculous for human. Like, you can creep the mercenary camp and expand. It's so safe, so easy. I don't think he'll lose anything to harass, so I'd rather just make Fiends than try to creep myself.
I don't know, I think with the DK harassing you can get quite a bit here with the coils. Especially if you steal the Shadow Priest, which I know he does try to do from time to time.
Yeah, the Acolyte's moving in, so that's just
but the Acolyte is late, so... Because he didn't get to the mercenary camp at the first scout, he may not get the Shadow Priest. Then again, many other players don't do this. And we see, yeah, HawK is stealing the Shadow Priest before EnTe has a chance to get his hands on it, so...
HawK forgot to start his Arcane Tower. It's a pretty big mistake. You really want that as fast as possible, because you will get some hurt militia, so it's always nice to have the Arcane Tower.
Oh, nice
there.
Oh my god. The anti-coil.
Really nice. And yeah, you can just abolish the skeletons. You won't, like, he's level 2. He didn't lose anything. And the Death Knights, I don't know, I think I'd rather have a Fiend build. But that's just my opinion. I'm not really an undead player.
Yeah, he tried to go for the creep last hits instead of the peasants. He could have easily gotten one peasant, maybe even two. As we see,
that's
there's
true.
one very low HP in the base. He didn't get rewarded. And next the human is probably going to take the tiny little green camp, and after that the expansion. That's, I think, the standard creep route for humans on this map.
Did he get to Berserker? No, it's not out yet.
Yeah, I think it's still on cooldown.
Still no Arcane Tower.
Yeah, that's pretty damn greedy, man.
It's pointless, because you're going to lose more peasants. You're going to lose more wood by not getting it than by getting it.
Hasn't lost any peasants so far, but of course the call to arms thingy also basically costs you wood, so definitely in the long run not worth it. And I don't see why he needs the gold right now. But hey, who am I to question HawK? Nice move there with the Fiend, pulling the creeps away, and it would have almost worked, like delaying this creeping a little bit. That was pretty cute. Honestly, in the end it doesn't make the biggest mistake, but you know, cute little play right there. DK is gonna try to get the last hit, but again, HawK is paying attention to the HP of the creeps, but I think he's gonna have to forfeit this one. Yep. DK gets it, and that's a lot of experience, man. Renegade Wizard is just ridiculous how much XP that guy gives.
Yeah.
Is he gonna get the wolf? No! Again, well done by HawK.
Why did it end? Did he attack the creep just to get frost armor, or what was his idea?
Well, I don't know what exactly. You mean like why he pulled the Fiend?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably for frost armor and to maybe pull him away from his opponent, you know, so it takes a little bit longer. But then again, probably more for the frost armor. I thought he was going to pull him away, but yeah, probably
that was really smart, I think,
for the frost armor.
Get the frost armor like that.
Yeah. We saw WFZ doing that a lot on maps like Twisted Meadows, over and over again, attacking the naturals so that everything is bloodlusted once the human arrives. Can be very powerful. But now DK is super low, Fiend also very low, and that basically means he kind of has to go, because the DK can't do much more.
Oh wow, the skeleton didn't... I think it died from the timer, because he didn't get level 3.
Yeah. Only gonna delay it for a few seconds though as he reaches it here. And yeah, I think HawK is already in a great position, like especially the low HP DK. I think many people underestimate this. This means that HawK has so much time where he's not really in much danger.
Yeah, you need the Unholy Aura as soon as possible to start the regeneration going. I wonder if he's going to stay tier 2 or he's going to go for 2. I think the early game didn't go so well, so he's probably better off trying to go for the late game.
Let's see. We haven't seen the meat wagon all in yet. Maybe he chooses this time around. There's a slaughterhouse. It's pretty damn late if he wants to go for Meat Wagon all-in, so I guess that speaks against that theory. Now HawK is attacking. This is what you want to always do as human, and what he just didn't have the time for last game, on Last Refuge. Just attack the undead, keep him busy, keep tabs on him, get time for your own economy and late game. Oh, nice little block there with a skeleton against the footman. And he is gonna get the kill, but DK eats more damage in return. So even though he loses footman here, in the grand scheme of things, he is making sure that he is kind of like in the safe zone.
Yeah, footmen are expendable. But I think ideally you don't want to take any fights like this. What HawK really wants is to get into the base and just harass. But he's doing a lot of damage actually. It's just the water elementals. The level 2 water elementals are so strong.
Yeah.
It's not even funny.
They do give a lot of experience, but they are still worth it in the early game.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, Nova now coming out on the Archmage, seeing a weakness here, the low HP first hero, and trying to kill it off the Shadow Priest after that so that there's no more healing, but he survives with like 5 hit points.
It's unfortunate. I think EnTe's doing really well, like considering how difficult the situation is. He's not losing anything really. He's killing off units. And yeah, he's going tier 3. I think that's smart. I think he has to go for something similar to the last game where you just go for a late destroyer push and hope the human doesn't have enough towers.
And again, HawK with a pretty damn fast tier 2 tech before the towers.
Yeah, that's the... Like, I don't know. If the human doesn't take any damage early, it's just so hard for any race to beat them. Because you can start your tech. He's not even that far behind in tech, and he has the double economy. And it's just like, what can you do, really?
What can you do? Human armies in the late game gonna be stronger than your army. EnTe tries to creep up as best he can. That's also a strategy you can go for. You just use your map control that you have right now, your superior strength and army, and try to creep everything that the human can creep, like outside of his base, and try to acquire a level advantage. I think that would be his best course of action. He is now level 3 on the DK and level 2 on the Lich, but he has gotten the Sacrificial Skull, so this means either committing to pressure at the expansion or expanding himself, and the path he's taking is showing us he wants to attack the Expo again.
I think that's too bad. I think what you said is true. I really would like to see if EnTe just never attacked ever again in this game. He just creeps. Look at all the red spots. Just go creep all game. Bank a bit at 50 and then go for like 60-70 food and just try to win with heroes and items. I think this is a mistake. He's too far behind to be able to do any damage with this. He's going to cancel the blacksmith though. That's really big.
And HawK has no tier 2 facilities in position just yet.
Oh, the shredder's bugging out. It was bugging out for a long time, so didn't get any wood from it.
Oh, didn't see that.
Tried to send
nice
it
to notice. Footmen are being killed left, right, and center. Fiend doesn't want to get killed! Just
nice.
barely.
The main is so close to the expansion on this map, it's quite easy to get militia.
Archmage, again, kind of far forward, does have the invul though. And of course a shop right next to him, and now with tier 2 the availability of potions. Tier 3, oh, please be a pit lord. Did you see that strategy by, what's his name again? Lucifer, who got destroyers and attacked the expansion with 1 billion towers, but it didn't matter because he also had a pit lord, so he rain of fired. Oh, nice bolt dodge there with a burrow. He rain of fired the repairing peasants and Nomad on top of it, so they just collapsed, and cool. The destroyers killed the rest. But I've only ever seen that once. It did work that one time, but Lucifer, well, his game doesn't seem to be catching on just yet. He is tier 3 now, and he's hanging out around the tavern, so obviously he wants to get a third hero. Who's it gonna be though? Dark Ranger or Pit Lord? Dark Ranger, yeah, standard choice.
So now, I don't know, like if you consider what he accomplished here, I think he just wasted a lot of time.
Yeah, I feel so too.
The big advantage he had was that all HawK had was an Archmage. He doesn't want to creep with just an Archmage. But EnTe has 2-3 heroes, he can just creep and get, you know, a good spread on his experience. But now they both have heroes out, so he can now HawK can he's happy to creep now.
I think EnTe could have utilized his map control better, but I think he still has a decent timing window here, because it's going to be at least another 2 or 3 minutes where his army is still far superior.
Yeah, because HawK isn't adding any breakers. He's playing a bit greedy.
Yep,
Looks like he didn't learn that much from last game.
Going for tier 3. Workshop, no Sanctum. But another barracks and another workshop. So, it's gonna probably be tanks and knights again.
He has a lot of towers this time, and he has level 2 masonry, and I think his expansion, if you look at his expansion, his towers are really well placed.
Yeah.
I think he has a really cool base layout.
And I thought
Very
with a Dark
effective.
Ranger especially, he was gonna go for the late game with a lot of creeping.
Yeah.
But now
This
he's
doesn't
going
make
for
any
the
sense.
expansion again, which surprises me greatly.
Definitely you should get a Pit Lord or whatever if he's going to all in. The Dark Ranger isn't going to do anything.
And now the human is in the position where he kind of feels comfortable. He has an expansion that is well defended with 1 billion towers, and now he can harass the undead in his base. He's trying to check for the expansion first, and there he finds an acolyte. Easy cancel, or well, prevention, I guess. And now he's going for the base, and there's no way EnTe kills all of this stuff here before he loses all of his economy at home.
I think you should just make a lot of Spirit Towers. Because he can, there are only 4 Guard Towers here. Oh, he's sending home the Destroyers, that's really cool.
That's also something that the Chinese undeads started doing quite early. Having 1 or 2 Destroyers at home and a DK with a Staff Teleportation also sitting in base, waiting for the human. If he arrives, you defend with Destroyers and DK because that's enough. And if you need the DK with your army, you staff to your army. But he's not playing that tricky. He's sending his Destroyers back, and yeah, they are easily enough to deal with at least the units. Killing the heroes will be more difficult.
Yeah, that was really nice by EnTe, but I think it's a mistake right-clicking this blacksmith so long. He really just needs to go for the towers and the peasants. Level 3 Lich, though, is going to be a huge game changer. But there aren't going to be any small units, so the advantage of HawK's build right now is that he's just going to get knights. So Koa Nova isn't at all as scary. Like, if he had a bunch of, like, I don't know, riflemen or footmen or whatever, then...
Oh, Archmage is TPing, but he knows that the undead is away, so... If the undead would have been right next to it, that would have been super dangerous.
He's making a second blacksmith as his expansion.
I guess the upgrades are that important to him, so that losing that 1 blacksmith won't be as crucial.
He's not making anything from the first... Ah, he's cancelling it. So he's going for tanks again. Oh no, he switched to gyros now. I think that's smart. There's no reason to go for like the tank stuff if there's no counter expansion. You just need to make an army and win.
I think there's still merit to it, but yeah, your point is right. As long as you defend and don't lose your expo, you win the game.
Yeah.
Whereas the game on Secret Valley, he had an expansion against him. So yeah, definitely. By the way, there's an expansion right here between the 2 bases, and now EnTe is trying to distract from this expo by just applying pressure himself. He has been having map control pretty much since the 5-minute mark, the stronger army by that I mean.
He finally goes to the main.
But now it may change, because the gyros are coming, knights are coming. But HawK again hasn't been given the time to build up a huge bank, so his army is pretty paltry still, and especially the heroes. Well, there is a Potion of Divinity and a Greater Healing and a small healing on the MK, so he's not gonna die too quickly.
Really good. This map has some of the most ridiculous items in the game, I think.
Yeah. Can be incredible and can be totally useless. Alright, he has no web yet, so that's a mistake. Pretty big mistake, actually. He's going for the MK, also I think a pretty big mistake. You're never gonna kill that guy.
Yeah.
He's not even getting web.
He had enough destroyers to actually just kill those gyros if he microed, I think. But now it's
but of course there are still more gyros coming every second, so I don't know. I think kiting with web would have been the safer play. In any case, he didn't do either. Right now his game plan is just keep him busy, keep him busy, keep him busy until my expo runs. But now is the time where HawK is really powering up, and soon he will be able to overrun the undead, as we see by the destroyers falling slowly to the flying machines, but falling nevertheless.
Oh, he denied 1 destroyer with his Dark Ranger. That was nice.
Yeah, cute little move, but...
Yeah, this is looking really bad. I think if EnTe would have just scouted HawK's main earlier, look at his main. He had 3 towers and they're really clumped together. So if he would have destroyer pushed the main, I think it would have worked a lot better than trying to kill the expansion.
Yeah, that is also very true. Even though at the expansion there's not that many towers. I mean, before there were, but before there wasn't really a destroyer push.
But when he made like 2-3 destroyers, he could have killed the main towers really fast. And then he can just like leave a unit or something there and go home and defend or whatever.
Last game, I really liked EnTe strategy. I was really impressed. This game, to me, it feels like he's not making the best choices.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But it's difficult. Like, he's probably nervous. Like, he's in the best of 5 against HawK. He's come really far in this league, probably further than a lot of people expected. So, I think it's there might be a lot of nerves. But it's also difficult. Like, you're playing against HawK. You're playing on this map. Like, what are you gonna do? So he made some good choices, he made some not so good choices, but in the end I think this map is just too good for human.
Definitely not bad. Red Drake dropped for both players at the red camp. Expansion has been scouted, knights have been sent to harass and destroy. Search and destroy, I guess I should have said, is the better term. And yeah. I'm really surprised, like HawK, he's not committing everything to this expo, which I find weird. I guess he thinks he's pretty sure that the Undead isn't gonna go there to defend with everything, and well, turns out he's right.
If the Undead defends, HawK can just keep creeping, so he's fine with either of those situations, I think.
Ah, good point.
And if he loses a knight or two, it doesn't matter. He has infinite gold.
And yeah, now the economy is now kicking in. We have HawK with a gigantic army. His heroes are getting there. Paladin is not level 3 just yet, but he will be there very soon, and that's when he feels very, very comfortable.
It's a pretty big mistake, though, to keep the Greater Healing Potion and the Divinity Potion on one hero. You should probably pass one of those to another hero.
Nice silence, triple silence right there.
Really nice.
And he's gonna get a knight, perhaps, in return, but then again, staff! Yep! Just kidding. I'm human, you can't kill my shit. And nice harassing there with the summoned Drake by HawK, finding the next expansion attempt of EnTe.
I'm kind of disappointed that HawK doesn't have any upgrades on his knights and only 2-0 on his gyros. He's had a shredder for a long time. He can just make 2 blacksmiths and get 3-3 on everything.
I think for the longest time of the game he was just like, oh, I need to defend. Like, he thought he didn't have time for upgrades, he just needed to get as many units as possible.
Yeah, that's true. But in this situation, he's had quite a long time where he's been comfortable.
Yeah, now he's really comfortable.
Now he starts to 1-1 on his
blacksmiths. Coming. Where's the Paladin? There he is. Level 3 has been reached, that's all he wants. Now it's time to level up the MK, because once that dude hits level 5, fun is gonna start for shizzle.
Yeah.
For the human.
But I think, like, if you look at the game right now, supply-wise, like, if EnTe would have started creeping earlier, he could probably take a fight. Even though he has a smaller army, he would have had better heroes, better items. Yeah. So I think that was the biggest mistake he made.
Getting level 5 isn't even as important, but keeping the enemy from level 3 is so big. But yeah, he decided to go for pressure. He tried to break, it didn't work. Now he's on the back foot. But it's not over yet. But there's another expansion for HawK, so he's making damn sure he's not gonna lose this game in a silly fashion.
Yeah, he's gonna go 100. He's gonna get griffins. He's gonna get, I guess, a few more upgrades and items. But if he's too slow, he could lose the game. Because sometimes you'll get to those situations where even if you have 2 expansions, you just can't win a fight if you have 100 food against Undead 80.
I don't know. I think he can just keep trading if he has 3 bases. But alright, Undead is attacking now. I think this is once again just to distract from his own expo, but HawK is not being fooled so easily. He has quite a few towers in place, and triple masonry upgrade, my absolutely favorite upgrade in the game. Just kidding.
At least they don't have as much HP as they did in the past.
Yeah, it had been nerfed. Like, I remember when the castle was fucking 4,000 hit points. Yeah. Now it's only 325. Alright, expansion has been found. Only 400 gold has been mined and it needs to be sold again, so this was a bad investment.
If he had an Necropolis there, he could probably just camp 4-1 and defend. But now without the expansion, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, difficult is a very generous term there. Now he's facing pressure towards his main. Yoz always says never fight in an undead base. HawK seems to think otherwise. But then again, he may just want to draw him out of position and then just leave. Dark Ranger very far forward, can be focused as she is, but she gets coiled in time. Abomination in a terrible position, so was the Lich, so he had to use the invul right away. A-bombs still not doing anything. Jesus Christ. DK now being focused. He has no more TP, but he has a greater healing, which he uses right now, and still one Ankh remaining. Lich now. No more invul. Maybe he will be focused. MK, however, low on mana, but also a greater mana in his inventory. Stuff being staffed. Left, right, and center. Knights only dying slowly, but the Lich dies just in a millisecond before the coil hits. And without the orb, without the Lich, this just became a lot more difficult, and EnTe kind of frustrated as also 2 tanks start shooting at his base, and he gives up the 3rd game here on Nomad Isles.
GG.
That's what EnTe always types.